with the actual live video. I do have my phone out here so I can see your comments. So real quick, I just want to go over a couple of announcements. Third time's the charm, right? I think I've got my lighting a little better. I think I've got the audio better now. But I just want to real quick, this is important information, so I wanted to do it well. We have upped our presence on social media. We have BGM on Twitter is us. That's maybe not going just quite yet, but it will be going in the next couple days. So if you want to follow BGM, if you're a big Twitter person, that's a good opportunity for you. The other thing too is you're here at the Facebook page, probably if you're watching this video, but maybe you aren't. Maybe you're on our YouTube page. So I know we do have a YouTube page, and if you came to us through that YouTube page, check us out on Facebook. That's our real central hub. You'll see videos first there. You will get announcements about when podcasts are going live. You will get just some random photos and things like that we don't put anywhere else. So if you want to search for Boardgame altogether, just one word, Boardgame, it's kind of our distinguishing brand thing almost now. Mechanics, we are there. And I think it's facebook.com/the Boardgame Mechanics. So again, facebook.com/the Boardgame Mechanics. Finally, we do have a website where you can find all this stuff on our About page inside of our website. So if you go to bgmechanics.com, you can get to us. And there's an About page, like I said, that will give you links to all of our social media presences. You also can listen to old episodes, new episodes, future episodes if you're watching this sometime in the distant or in the near future or distant future, I guess, really. You can go through our archives there at the website. Finally, if you have not liked or subscribed to us yet, please do so. It is such a big help. If you subscribe on iTunes or you subscribe on Google Play, then your episode will be right there for you. You won't have to use any bandwidth. It's kind of neat how it just uses the Wi-Fi to get your podcast downloaded right there. You don't use up that precious cellular data, and it's there waiting for you for your next road trip. This has been a really tremendous launch for BG Mechanics. I've done 3 or 4 other podcasts, and no other podcast that I've done has had this kind of interest in it this early on. So I'm really excited that you guys have found us. Please share it with other people too. Spread the word. Get it out there. Leave us reviews too, wherever you get your podcasts. That also helps us to pop up in the, hey, have you guys checked this show out kind of thing. So those are the announcements that I wanted to go over today. Any questions on that, just leave me a comment here. I think Jason or I'll get to it. So, at any rate, Jason does want to go live. Jason should go live. Jason's awesome. So, the game I want to talk about tonight is this game. It's a real quick, I'm just going to do just a fast spotlight on this one. You guys like this is the northern, I'm going to go with the northern and southern studios because we're more north-south than east-west, I think. I don't know, maybe north-south or east and west. Either one works. But I'm in the northern studio here, and you can see my little applique I've got on the wall behind me. It needs to be pressed down a little better. You probably can see a little bit of the bubbliness in it or whatever, but I'm gonna make it better. So, anyway, I just want to talk to you guys about this game. It is called Quest: A Time of Heroes, and then this was kind of neat. It was the Attack of the Orcs adventure booklet is this one, and I think there were plans, and there may have been more of these booklets that came out in Germany, and they were never translated. This is the only one that came out in the U.S. So this is just something that I kind of dumb lucked into. I was at an outlet mall, and they had a selection of board games there that were just on closeout, and so I got this. And I got the Spickerstadt, I got Skylines 3000, Power Struggle, a few different games for $7 a piece. A couple Cryptozoic deck builders. So this is back when Z-Man Games was putting all these things out, and they had horrible distribution problems. So this is like an era where Tales of the Arabian Nights, which I'm going to mention here in a minute, was impossible to find. You would end up paying hundreds of dollars to get it, and I think I lucked into a copy of that as well. But Z-Man just had these really bad, before Asmodee bought them out, they had these really bad just distribution problems where they'd overproduce certain games just horribly. So you'd see them at half-price books on closeout or at these like toy stores and outlet malls. And this is back in like kind of the like cowboy days before like Reddit or whatever, back in 2011. I'm sure Reddit was around, but like people weren't on there to, get the hot information or whatever. So on the Board Game Geek forums, there was this thread about this shop that is located in several outlet malls, and that they had a few board games in. So I think we actually made a special trip up to get some board games, but this one just happened to be in the pile. I thought it looked kind of neat, and I've not played through this entire thing. Barely understand how the system works anymore because it's been so long, but I just want to talk about it real quick because I think it's a neat thing. If you're a real fan of board games, you will appreciate this game. So the box is not real big. I mean, it's the size of a box, just a little small box game. But it has inside of it a bunch of standees. So you have this little guy here with his like little, I don't know if you can see that very well, if it'll focus on that for you. But you have a whole mess of standees. Hey John, nice to see you in here. Yeah, the Northern Studios. Let's call it that, Jason. Because it's kind of this like blue Arctic color up here. I'm responding to comments if you're watching this on YouTube like months from now or whatever. Anyway, focus, Joel, focus. Can you tell I've got ADD? I think you probably can tell on the podcast too. So Z-Man had terrible distribution, and this game, I think it's going to be a neat game for you to see if you're a real fan of board games, because I don't know that it influenced some of the things going on right now in board gaming, but you can definitely see where they tried to do something that is really popular now. And this game came out in 2011, Quest: A Time for Heroes. Bought it for $7. It's like $60 on Amazon now. And I like, honestly, if people knew what this was and had the respect for it that I have for it, it might even go higher than that. So you get tons of standees in there. You get land tiles. You get some 10-sided die in there, and the coins in this, like, I had one of these coins. This is like, you know how when you like have a problem in your brain, especially those of us older enough to not like remember what it was like to have Google to go get answers for everything. So if you were like, oh man, what was the name of that actor in that show? You couldn't just Google it. You had to like think about it for days. I feel like an old codger right now, but this is one that even Google couldn't solve for me. These coins are so nicely done. The graphic design on them is just so cool. And I remember these coins, and I found one when I moved this last summer, and I put it on like all the groups to say, hey, what's this coin from? Because it was just irritating me. And so today when I saw these coins, I was like, oh yes! That like, it was like an itch that my brain felt that was like just a relief, you know? So the coins in this are really beautiful. And this is just a neat game, period. So let's talk about the actual game here. This game will remind you, I think, a little bit of like maybe Folklore the Affliction, or a little bit of like any of those like quest-driven adventure games that are out now. Like, you know, Shadows of Brimstone, Folklore the Affliction, Gloomhaven even a little to a degree. Where you have like your quest manual and you're doing a campaign that modifies your heroes from game to game. It was really cool. And so this game, I didn't like it. Like in 2011, I was like, it's not Descent. Like, this isn't Descent. I don't want to play this because you can't, you know, set up an arena and fight each other and blah, blah, blah. What's this stupid like book that you have to read through and blah, blah, blah. It never really resonated with me. But now I'm looking at this thing going, oh my goodness, how neat is this? So the first thing I've been showing you this book forever. This book is, you can see that old Z-Man logo on there, the old purple and white logo. It has just all these different adventures in it. It's got 5 different adventures, and this book almost serves as like your DM. And so it tells you, like, it gives you narrative that you read out loud to the group, and it you know, has you go through these different things that are going to have you play through these series of quests. And I do believe you need an overlord for this game, but the overlord just gets to use this neat book and know where things are going, and then you have adventurers that are playing with you as well. So your adventurers, this is the next component I want to show you after this little, I mean, it's fairly thick too. I mean, let's see how many pages we got in here. 82 pages of manual here, of adventures. And then there's a rule book too. But then you get these cards, and these cards are all just different kinds of equipment you can get. So I'm just going to show you these equipment cards. You find the equipment, you gather it, and then it has like different like sliding on the bottom there. So how you are able to inventory like different things is kind of clever on this. So you have all these inventory cards. You have random location cards that pop up. So like different locations are around. They aren't random, I guess, but these locations pop up as you're playing. It's been so long since I played this game, and I played it so little, I don't remember a lot about it. So if you're a like Quest, A Time of Heroes, like fanatic, man, please leave a message and tell me all the places I screwed up this video, and tell us more information about it and why you're a fanatical fan. But if you're like, I'm guessing 99 out of 100 people out there, you've never seen this game ever, and that's probably why you're still watching, because you're kind of interested. You have these little random cards too in the deck, and these are kind of cool. At the bottom it says, this ruler helps you in setting up terrain elements and miniatures on the battlefield. The longer side of the card equals 1 length of unit. So like you're doing an actual miniatures game kind of thing with these little measuring things when you're setting up the combat. They have gift combat cards and gift magic cards too that you can get. So just there's probably 200 or 300 cards in this little box, maybe more than that, that you get. And this is kind of one of my favorite things. So this game, I think it was bigger in Germany than it was in the US, and bigger in Europe, because if I remember right, I haven't read about it for years either, but if I remember right, they came out with more adventures in German and not in English. And I think that when they went to translate this is just showing you too kind of how different the production quality was. I mean, it's 2011 doesn't feel like long ago, because I was way into the hobby back in 2011, and you didn't see this big jump happen in board game production over the last 7 years, but there has been. So like, look at the graphic design on this card. I don't think it ever won any graphic design awards, but like there's no background, and it looks like a pretty generic like fantasy like clip art type thing on there. And then if you look on the back side, this is my favorite part, okay? Like, it doesn't say encounter deck, it doesn't say mobs, it doesn't say anything, it says bad guy. How cool is that it says bad guy on the back of the card? So, anyway, yeah, Katie, I definitely agree that you get distracted, you're trying to sound professional and try and sound cool. I'm checking comments here. Again, sorry, if you're watching on YouTube, this won't make any sense, but Katie was like, yeah, the ADD factor gets amped up when you're doing a live video. I agree. So anyway, all these cardboard standees, all those cards, and then the real neat part of this game, or a couple of neat parts of this game, are every character you have has this little dry erase board. So, and you have like what your starting cards are, a little backstory, and then you have like little ways that you can check off what you've got going on for your character. So this one's a human mage, and like it's like a pre-made little character for you, and it came with like a handful of them, like a ranger, a little dwarf warrior, and then they call it a lizard man. They don't call it a dragonkin, but like that's clearly like a dragonborn or dragonkin kind of guy there. So at any rate, they have these little dry erase boards so you can keep your campaign going from session to session. And then finally, oh, here's some gift magic cards too, so you can get cursed or give curses or come across like magic mirrors. Where are the last little boards at? There's little mob boards too that you can keep track of your mob health and your boss health. But just really a neat little book. And I mean, like, my copy of Gloomhaven's arriving next week, so I can't speak with a lot of expertise on Gloomhaven, but I have watched a ton of hours of videos of gameplay and just different component unloading and just different things like that, that I feel like this was as close to Gloomhaven or definitely Folklore of the Affliction that we were going to get in 2011. And it's just kind of too bad that this flopped, because I feel like, you know, like it has like little layouts of how you're going to lay your tiles out, has just dialogue that these characters are going to say. I mean, like, it's just too bad that this didn't get more momentum than it did in 2011, because we could, in a way, be 7 years into the future with these kinds of campaign and adventuring games. So this is where Jason and I definitely differ. He is, like, if there's, like, any kind of imagination kind of things that have to happen for you to enjoy the game, or if there's any kinds of, like, random, just fun encounter type stuff that you can't control with, like, building a machine or pushing cubes to different regions and stuff, it's not for him. I mean, I think he will be polite and play that kind of stuff, but it's not his gig. Whereas in 2011, like, going back in the time machine again, I was a hardcore Ameritrasher back then. I was just like, man, get me all the cool dice chucking, break through a wall and hack and slash stuff. that I can get. But now I'm moving more towards the mechanically sound stuff. The more, oh man, that's a really elegant design, to use a total cliche from board gaming right now. But back in the day, man, I just love this stuff. And so hopefully I'll be able to balance out Jason a little bit. He will, I'm sure, be talking about all the greatest things that Feld is doing, and you know, he's like, even for him, Feld's a little mainstream. So I mean, and I'll be the guy talking about you know, Richard Garfield and his new you know, like, these magic cards balance each other out kind of thing, you know. So I think that's why maybe we have okay chemistry, is we kind of can balance each other a little bit. But this is definitely a Ameritrashy game that just is not real heard of, not real well known. And so anyway, just a real quick before I go, to just recap, if you just joined us, you're at the Facebook page right now if you're watching at this moment live. So awesome. Just keep coming here. This is where our stuff is going to be centrally located. If you are coming to us from YouTube, if you're watching this on YouTube later because it was recorded and hosted there, which I think is a distinct possibility, go to our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/theboardgamemechanics, or go to bgmechanics.com. That will get you to a lot of our places. If you're a Twitter person and you don't like that whole Facebook world, then check out BGMex, at BGMex. Again, just thank you for the support we've had so far on this thing. It's grown faster than I ever would have imagined. And even you guys are doing a good job, like, interacting. So we're trying to figure out what we're going to call you guys as our loyal early fans. But as our early loyal fans, the Rivets, I forget the other name Jason came up with, but I kind of like Spanner too. Like, I don't know why I like that, but as our Spanners and Rivets early in this game of developing a podcast, thank you for being supportive and listening and watching. And please just get evangelical for us. Spread the news. Tell everybody else about us. Get us in front of people, because that's how you grow, is just this viral word of mouth thing. We don't have an advertising budget. We don't have, you know, anything except for equipment to record shows for you. We love doing it. We want to do it for a lot of people. So spread the word. Get it out there. Appreciate you people who have already done that. And the highest of fives for you when you comment on our board. We've already given some of those out. So that's another one of our little goofy things probably too. So we'll see if that sticks. But highest of fives for you for watching this video as well. And have a good evening, afternoon, whatever time of day it is. And I will catch you guys later.